What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more 80s synth pop. We're back with a group I have not yet reacted to, but which I listened to a great deal growing up, and not just in the 80s, but also in the 90s. We're going to listen to Duran Duran and their Rio album. This came out in 1981. Is that right? Or is this 82? No, I'm sorry, 1982. So yeah, this is 1982. We're going to listen to one of their breakout hits, Hungry Like the Wolf. I always enjoyed this tune. I remember the video as a kid, but yeah, lyrically it's something that I didn't really think about much at the time. You know, just as a kid, it's sort of songs sound groovy and you're kind of, you know, you might think about one or two lines, but you're not thinking about sort of adult themes within the context of the lyrics. So it was when I got a little older and I was thinking about the song that I was actually, you know, like, wow, it's a really sort of interesting song that, you know, could maybe fit into Depeche Mode's lyrical catalog quite well. Which is to say, I think it's a song about feeling like you're on the hunt, but for romance and for physical intimacy, indeed for sex. And I think that the song is basically, it's a narrator telling someone, like, I'm catching up to you. You can feel my breath on your neck, and I'll catch you by the time the moonlight is up in the sky. I'm hungry like the wolf, and you know, I can, even in a big crowd of people, like, I know your scent. I can, you know, I can follow you like the wolf. So I do think it's about, you know, feeling very passionate about someone and knowing that, you know, you've got them in your sights, and that, you know, in a, hopefully, you know, not a sort of predation way, but in terms of like, you know, you're going to get what you want because you know, you see it and you know how to track it down and to woo it, so to speak. So yeah, I think it does speak to sort of a romantic or intimate passion and a desire for you know, sexual intimacy, and it's sort of speaking to the psychology of, you know, really wanting someone badly and passionately. Let me know if you have a different take or at least a more detailed interpretation. But yeah, I did mention, you know, I listened to these guys in the 80s. I was a big fan, but I liked a lot of the stuff they did in the 90s. I remember that song Come Undone had kind of like a dark feel, and I remember again the music video, sort of that like underwater imagery and that woman's awesome voice in the chorus. So yeah, they were a group that, you know, like some others, maybe not as much as Depeche Mode, which I basically, you know, have been listening to the whole time, with maybe a slight like dead period in the late 2000s, early 2010s. But yeah, I did continue to listen to Depeche Mode beyond just Duran Duran, sorry, beyond just the 80s. And I do remember the album, and what was the other one? Ordinary World, I think that was from the same album as Come Undone. I really did like that album, so I'm going to have to come back and react to some of their 90s tunes as well. But let's get to it. This is Hungry Like the Wolf by Duran Duran on their Rio album. Is this? Yes, this is the right side. From 1982. I love that laugh. That woman's laugh at the beginning felt very natural. That kind of high, bleepy melody. One of the most iconic, like, vocal riffs of the 80s, sorry. Started talking about the 90s. But seriously, like, even people who didn't listen to this kind of music probably know that moment of this song. No, again, I'm not a producer myself, but I know some producers. I wonder if the drum machine here is an 808. I don't know that for sure, but I wonder. Already kind of a stripped down interlude. And finally the first verse, yeah? the nostalgia levels are high with this one for me. It just makes me think of like 83, 84, me starting to listen to music on my own. That high melody, that bleepy, I really like that. It's a subtle element, but it's nice. Because you hear those kind of big guitar chords, like, you hear those more readily. But high up inside that is that melody. Stripped down interlude again. I love that. The lead into the chorus. Or the verse, sorry. Feel my heat, I'm just behind you. You can't escape. Again, to make a Depeche Mode comparison, it makes me think of Soothe My Soul. Or Sweet as Perfection for that matter. I do love his voice. Some literal, like, breath synths. I'm lost and unfound. That's the one of the few lines that where I'm like, it's a bit opaque to me. Like all the rest of it is very targeted, it's very, you know, running in the same direction, but that I'm lost and I'm found. In the context of him hunting for this intimacy, I'm not sure. Is that a female voice? That I don't remember this version. This is the late night version. I actually don't remember that. Surely that's not the version they played on the radio. Nevertheless, that's hilarious. I guess, you know, by the end of the song, there is a, you know, sort of oral suggestion that, you know, the hunt has been completed and the intimacy or interaction has begun. Nevertheless, I really do enjoy it. As you know, the nostalgia vibes, as I said, are very strong with that one. Just screams like early to mid '80s to me, and it reminds me of listening to the radio in my youth. And like I said, I continued to listen to them at least into the '90s. I'll admit, like post 2000, I haven't followed them as closely. I think I don't know for certain, but I could look it up. So give me a second. I'm not sure if they are still making music, but I did just find out that Soft Cell was still making, or had begun making albums again, so let's just check. Duran Duran, let's see, oh man, they have so many releases. Yeah, I'm not sure. I do apologize, this is supposed to be easier. Yeah, 2010, so yeah, 2021. So they're still making albums too. So as recently as last year, they put out an album called Future Past, which has some pretty cool album art. If anyone knows anything about that one, do let me know. But it's listed as synth pop and new wave and pop rock, so it sounds like, musically it's in a similar area. So yeah, shout out to Duran Duran. I'll have to try to catch up on their albums post 2000. But before I do that, I do want to come back and maybe do Rio and one or two of the other ones on this album, and eventually get to, I'm blanking on the name of the album, but whatever the album is that has Come Undone and Ordinary World, I would like to react to both of those tunes because I'm a big fan. But yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know if you're a big Duran Duran person. As you can tell, because I made a couple of Depeche Mode references along the way, that is the synth pop group that I followed the most intensely and that I know most comprehensively. But yeah, I'm trying to get back into some other synth pop groups that I listened to when I was younger, like Yaz, like Soft Cell, and indeed like Duran Duran. So if anyone has any recommendations about a particular album or a particular song on one of the albums that comes after this one, do let me know. And like I said, I'm going to try to expand my Duran Duran collection. Thank you for listening and watching. I do appreciate it. Have a good day, have a good night, and I'll see you next time. Peace.